Okay, our learning targets today are I can find the center and variation to compare data sets, and I can assess the overlap between two data sets. Samples of children's ages in two playgroups are shown on the box and whisker plot. To find the center, you'll need to find the median. So center is another way of asking for the median. So what is the median of group 1? 10. So we would say the center of group 1 is 10. What's the median of group 2? 12. So we'd say the center of group 2 is 12. To find the variation, you're going to need to find the IQR. In other words, how long is the box? So for group 1, the box goes from 8 to 11. 3. So the variation would be 3. And for group 2, the box goes from 10 to 13. So what's 13 minus 10? 3. So the variation would be 3. Which group has the highest median age and by how much? So the median of group 1 is 10, and the median of group 2 is 12. Which group has the higher median? Group 2. Group 2 has the highest median by 2. Which group has the highest range and by how much? So to find the range, you have to do the max point minus the min. So for group 1, the maximum is at 13 and the minimum is at 7. So you'd have to do 13 minus 7 and you'd get 6 for the range. For group 2, you'd have to do 14 minus 7. 14 minus 7 would give you 7. So which group has the highest range? Group 2. By how much? By 1. Okay, the youngest 25% of group 1 are between ages blank and blank. Now remember, each section of the box and whisker plot is 25%. So the youngest 25% of group 1 would be located right here in this bottom whisker, and they'd fall between 7 and 8 years old. The youngest 25% of group 2 would be in this whisker, and that falls between 7 and 10 years old. The oldest 25% of group 1 are between ages blank and blank. So the oldest 25% would be this upper whisker, and they would fall between ages 11 to 13. And for group 2, the oldest 25% would be in this upper whisker, and they'd be between ages 13 to 14. Based on this data, make an inference about which group is older. So this is something you're going to be asked to do on your snapshot or your quiz to make an inference. So which group do you think is older, group 1 or group 2? Based on this data, I can make an inference that group 2 has older kids. So group 2 is older. All right. The weights of two different teams are shown in the box and whisker plot. Find the center and variation of each team. Just a reminder, center means find the median. So for team A, the center would be 240. And just a reminder, variation means the IQR. So the box goes from 230 to 250. So I would have to do 250 minus 230, and the variation or the IQR would be 20. All right, team B center. Again, center means median. So the center of team B would be 230. And the variation would be the IQR, which is the length of the box. This box goes from 220 to 240. So I would do 240 minus 220. And I would find the variation is 20. Which team has the higher median weight? Well, the median weight here is 240 and the median weight here is 230. So team A is the higher median weight. What percentage of each team weighs 230 pounds or more? Keep in mind that each quartile of the box and whisker plot is 25%. So here's 230 pounds. Let's draw a vertical line going upwards. Let's talk about team A. What percentage weighs 230 pounds or more? This would add up to 75%. What about team B? What percent is 230 pounds or more? This would add up to 50%. So what's an inference that you could make about this data? So again, inference is something you're going to be asked to do on your next quiz. So this is about the weights of two teams. So I could probably make an inference about which team I think is heavier. And since 75% of team A weighs 230 pounds or more, but only 50% of team B weighs 230 pounds or more, I could probably say team A is heavier. Well, another thing you could say is team B is less heavy. So I'm going to write the heavier group is team A. Okay, try this on your own. The prices of books from two different bookstores are shown in the box and whisker plot. Find the centers, find the variations, find the ranges, and make an inference. Please pause the video and try this one on your own, then unpause it to check your answers. All right, you should have found the centers to be 85 and 90. The variation should have been the IQR, which is 15 and 30. The ranges, where you take the max and you subtract the min, is 55 and 65. What inference could I make about this data? Bookstore B has more expensive books. Okay, try on your own. The test scores from two different classes are shown on the box and whisker plot. Find the centers, fill in the blanks about the lowest 25% of scores, and what's an inference you can make about this data. Please pause this video, try these on your own, and then unpause the video to check over your answers. All right, you should have found the centers or the medians of period 1 was 80, period 2 was 85. The lowest 25% of data for period 1 was between 60 and 75. The lowest 25% of data for period 2 is between 70 and 80. And an inference I could make about these test scores is second period scored higher on the test, or you could say first period scored lower on the test. All right, target practice. Please pause this video and then unpause the video to check over your answers. All right, group 1's variation would be 5 minus 2, which is 3. Group 2's variation, which would be 7 minus 4, which would also be 3. Group 1's center would be the median of 3. And that's a funny 3, sorry. Group 2's center would be 6. And based on the data above, which group eats more tacos? This is my inference. I would say group 2 eats more tacos.